Well, my name is Vince Ryan and this is our property Wirianda. We're in the Waima Valley and we farm beef cattle.
Water quality when it comes to livestock is often quite undervalued. The importance of water quality really comes into play when we consider water intake, and water intake is really critical for feed intake. There's a direct correlation between water intake and feed intake, and from feed intake then we go on to consider things like production factors, average daily weight gain, milk production, having happy and healthy animals.
Well, I've got a particular interest in farm improvements. I identified that the dams we had were small and inadequate. As part of a process of managing the dams better, enlarging the dams, and including a land care project that we were very involved with at the time, we saw an opportunity to introduce tree lots into and around the dams, and we subsequently found that to be quite successful. Stock have access here on hardened ground, and it excludes them from the rest of the dam bank and surroundings.
Stock, just like any animal, require water for adequate hydration. It's really important for digestion as well. So when we've got an animal that's a ruminant, they're consuming a lot of feed, they require a lot of water to be able to digest that.
Well, the changes were immediate because the dam being fenced off. I couldn't believe how a dam bank that would not grow grass with stock involved, even with minimal topsoil, would grow grass quite quickly. The changes were very apparent.
Farm dams and creek lines are often at the bottom of the catchment, so that means they capture all the manure, the runoff, the soil, fertilisers off all the paddocks and collect in one spot. And that can have a negative impact on water quality and the health of the ecosystem. By having fenced off areas around them, particularly in the upper catchments where the water's running in, can help filter all these particles and reduce the impact of them pollutants.
So water intake can be driven by a number of things. They can be both water quality factors such as salinity levels, so salt levels in the water can certainly be drivers of water intake by stock, as well as things like palatability, taste, contamination with different things such as bacteria. There are other factors when it comes to the animal that do drive water intake. For example, animals that are lactating will drink a lot more water and require a lot more water, and animals during periods that are of high temperature will also require significantly higher amounts of water.
The obvious advantages were the green environment around the dam, but also equally importantly the no pugging and a clean spot for the cattle to drink.
Water's a critical thing, not just for livestock and production, but also for biodiversity. And by fencing out areas around wet areas like farm dams and creating sort of long grass, wet areas, it's great habitat for your frogs. The dam that we're standing in front of now, there's at least 5 species of frogs that we've seen around here in the last couple of months. You can hear the birds calling. They like to nest near waterways. They like to feed near waterways. The trees grow bigger, produce more insects near waterways.
One issue we do come across on farms with regard to water and livestock is algal blooms, particularly during dry periods or periods where water levels are quite low. Not all algae is the nasty toxic blue-green algae, and not all blue-green algae is actually toxic to livestock either.
Farm dams are a classic example of where doing work for biodiversity isn't mutually exclusive to improving productivity on your farm.
Great feeling when you come to a dam like this, and this is a good example of what we've established. The contrast between a traditional paddock dam with its mud and its mess and bare banks to come up here, and it's peaceful, it's cool, there's bird life, lots of life in the water, and it's a great feeling.